back to Attack of the Show. We are live and talking gaming. Earlier in the show, we asked you if there's a Wii weakness. Well, according to you, it was a narrow race with 51% of you believing the Wii is not as strong as we thought. Let's go over to Kevin, who is the master of smooth moves.
Only in WarioWare. Sad, actually. All right, now the Nintendo Wii, some claim that the console was unstoppable, but the first cracks in Nintendo's armor are starting to appear. Seriously, they are. 4 short months ago, the Nintendo Wii launched to mass fanfare and 0 shootings. Now, with almost 2 million consoles sold in North America alone, Nintendo may be on its way to dominating the console war. However, this isn't going to be an easy victory. Some are calling the Wii a GameCube 1.5. Sure, we have an avalanche of mini-games from Wii Sports to WarioWare, but where are the killer apps that Wii owners were promised? Last year, Nintendo head honcho Reggie Fils-Aimé proclaimed, quote, "There will be no new game drought for this system. It's now rumored that Metroid Prime 3 and Super Mario Galaxy won't see the light of day until the next holiday season." Is the Wii just a fancy toy with no legs, or are these problems merely growing pains on the way to new console domination? Put on your strap. It's the Loop. All right, joining me tonight from Los Angeles, associate editor for Kotaku.com, Mike McWhirter is here. Mike, welcome to the Loop, sir.
Hi, Kevin.
I'm in such good standing with the Kotaku readers that I decided I'm going to tarnish that today and kind of play the anti-Wii person, even though I must admit I do love my console. But with that said, Mike, I'm going to be their voice. Okay? So the Wii has a lot going for it. We know that. Innovative hardware, got some good brands. But Reggie said there's going to be no drought. Where are the first-party games, and where on earth is the third-party support?
Well, as far as the first-party games, they're coming. I think that it's a little too early to say that there's a drought. There have been a few light release weeks over the past couple months, but it's only been out for a couple months.
Mike, I got an itch in my throat. I'm getting a little parched. There's a bit of a drought coming on.
No, I think that's a little bit of an overstatement. There are some good things coming. WarioWare Smooth Moves, as you just said, it's a fantastic game. I love that game. You've got Super Paper Mario. You've got Wii Play, which just came out. So there's some good stuff coming. And then, Nintendo on a weekly basis, they freshen up that virtual console library. So.
Well, we'll get to the virtual console in just a second. But, you just announced a couple games that are comprised completely of those instant pick-up-and-play mini-game experiences, which, don't get me wrong, I love the mini-games, but when are we going to get to sink our teeth into some actual substance with this console? It has me a little worried that that's all it's going to provide.
Well, I think that's a pretty valid concern. Like I said, Super Paper Mario is coming. There's some good stuff. Obviously, the first-party titles are what people are really looking forward to from Nintendo. I think a lot of third parties got caught with their pants down a little bit as far as to how successful the thing would be. So yeah, I'm a little concerned about the whole flood of mini games. Mario Party 8 is out in like a month or something like that. And so, there's some stuff coming, but it does seem a little way off. But, it's also could just be a PR thing. Nintendo's riding a wave of popularity.
Sure, they don't need to really work for it right now. Why not rest back on their laurels? And a place where I think they are resting quite a bit is this virtual console, because I love the concept of downloadable content. I love the fact that I can dip back into those old games that I've played 4 million times on every other console or handheld that Nintendo's released. But $5 for that pick-up-and-play for 5 seconds experience that reminds me of why I got rid of the Nintendo in the first place. Do you feel like maybe they're dropping the ball a bit on the side of the virtual console?
I don't know about that. I think they're doing a decent job with it. They're kind of trickling out releases, and that really seems to be working for them. They're selling a lot of games. I think that people wanted a whole flood of the entire library to come out, but from Nintendo's perspective, they get to release a handful of games, tap into some of that nostalgia, and issue a press release every Monday on what's come out. So people get to look forward to things, creates a lot of buzz.
But what do you think about the price point itself, Mike? Your personal opinion here, $5 to $10 for a game when a similar price game on Xbox Live might have, well, it might be original, might have HD graphics, might have multiplayer built in as well, where some of these Nintendo games, you can't even save your Ghost time trials to.
Yeah, well, Kevin, I'm so flush with cash, these things don't really bother me. $5 to me is nothing. I dropped that on the walk in here. So, in all honesty, yeah, $5 is a little bit much to replay Urban Champion or soccer or something like that. But
But when you roll hard like the Kotaku staff,
Sure.
not a problem.
Yeah.
All right, out in a couple days. Well, there was an announcement actually about Elder Scrolls and the Unreal Engine, the new Unreal Engine. They said, okay, these aren't coming to the Wii. I don't believe anybody, that's a hardcore gamer or that does games journalism, believed that these engines were coming to the console.
Yep.
It's not about graphics. They've drilled that into our head. But do announcements like that at all hurt Nintendo? The fact that these big franchises are never going to see the light of the day on the Wii?
Well, I don't know if those two franchises in particular are going to hurt Nintendo. I think it does hurt some of that hardcore goodwill that they want to tap into.
Sure.
They, as far as something like Oblivion, I don't think anybody really expects them to downgrade it to the point where it would be playable on the Wii. Same thing with Unreal Tournament. Was it Unreal Tournament?
Yeah, it's Unreal Tournament 3 is the name, or Unreal Championship 3.
Yeah.
It's Unreal something.
Yeah.
But it's not coming, so regardless,
Right.
it's a moot point.
And I think that eventually announcements like that may start to hurt them, but then, we'll have to see what third parties come up with.
All right, now the Wiimote itself, very innovative. Everybody was excited for it. And now some are saying it's turning out to be a gimmick. And every time I go to do the waiter pose in WarioWare, it loses sensitivity. The thing completely forgets where it is, and I can never get the Nintendog to high-five me. Is this thing just a gimmick, or are we going to see games that are unlocking it to be the next generation of gaming?
Well, I think you'll see some gimmicky games, and I think, unfortunately, see a lot of those come from third parties. And I think you'll see, some goofy mini games that come from Nintendo that really don't exploit the controller in the best way possible. But on the other hand, you'll see some cool stuff probably from Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And then I think everybody was pretty pleased with the Manhunt 2 announcement. Everybody's looking forward to slitting someone's throat with a Wiimote or...
All right, so final word, Mike, because we are out of time. You're still excited for the Wii. You're not concerned. You think it's doing fine and it will do fine?
I'm still excited. I'd say I'm cautiously optimistic. I really hope that third parties get on board, and I hope that Nintendo does not really go forward with having a drought.
All right, Mike, I want to thank you for joining me in the loop and keeping our fans adept at the digital water cooler that we've put forward. Thank you, sir. All right, look, Nintendo, you nailed the Wii launch. We got it. You had no shortages or shootings that plagued the PS3. Well, some shortages, but anyway, we get the point. We got some great titles and the promise of innovation and innovative games, but here we are 4 months later, and some of us are still waiting. And not for just Mario and Metroid. No, we want online titles and original downloads and non-gimmicky experiences. So, listen, Nintendo, you convinced millions to trade graphics for gameplay. Kudos to you, but now it's time to deliver. So give us some solid release dates for high-profile games and keep them coming, because you've proven that you got an audience. Now just give them what they want. That's all we ask. Right now we go over to Olivia, who once choked me with the nunchuck.
Hey, I play to win, Kevin, and you said it turned you on. What was I supposed to do? Anyway, don't be a wuss and tap out, people. Hang in there. We'll be right back. We've got more coming up on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
It's the accessories that'll turn you into a pro at Wii Sports on AOTS hardware.
What do you think of straw?
Welcome back to Attack of the Show, folks. We are live, and on this day, 7 years ago, the last original Peanuts comic strip was printed, and that's, Peppermint Patty came out of the closet, and years of rumors were silenced. Let's go over to Olivia, who's been known to pull the football out from under me.
Kevin, you are totally a Charlie Brown. That's just my guess. Now, when my batteries are low or I need a bit more RAM, the man who I always turn to is our resident gadget guru, Will O'Neill, here today with another edition of AOTS Hardware. Hello, Will O'Neill.
Hello, Olivia Munn. How's it going?
It's going great. So we just talked about the Wii in the loop.
Okay.
And with the release of the Wii Play today, I want to know, do you have any great accessories for us?
Yeah.
And we're looking at some right now.
couple for the Wii, as well as some other good surprises for you.
Yeah, so I want to start off with the Wii Sports Pack.
Yes. This is a box set from Core Gamer, featuring a trio of Wii accessories for use on sports games, primarily Wii Sports, which anyone who has the console owns it. It includes a miniature tennis racket, a baseball bat, which looks more like a cricket mallet, and a golf club that you pop your Wiimote into. It enhances those mini games and actually improves your swing by making it a lot more lifelike. So with the way that it cradles your controller, you also have access to all the buttons, all the D controls. You can find this one in stores now for about $25.
$25. I'm going to say I don't think it's worth the price because when you said mini game, I didn't mean you meant mini controllers.
Yeah. Well, okay,
I mean,
considering...
how the hell are you supposed to play golf with this?
Well, you snap it on and, you get your little swing
Do
on.
they come out? Do they?
Yeah.
They don't flip out?
No, it doesn't telescope out. No, it doesn't. But considering that it is only about 10 cents worth of plastic, perhaps it's not necessarily worth it. But if you're a diehard sports fanatic, it's a fun novelty when you're playing with your friends. Some of us have friends, Olivia.
Some of us do. Maybe I should just come play with you and your friends.
That sounds
but
awesome.
These are... You hear that?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound so great, but maybe it's worth it to somebody. Now, what's with the illuminated base you put the Wii on today?
Okay, now this is Pelican's illuminated Wii stand, which is a GameStop exclusive. Now, it may get a new name before it comes out in April, but this is a hip little add-on you can mount your system on. And you can actually plug it into the Wii power cord, and there's a power switch on its base in case you don't want to leave it on. This will cost you about 15 bucks.
So this is something you actually charge your Wii on, or is it just to look good?
It's just to look good.
Oh.
See, but if you're like me, you have a pimped-out rig, you want to have a pimped-out Wii. I'm just saying, it's all about pimping.
All right. So illumination equals pimpage.
Pretty
got
much,
it.
yeah.
Next up, you've got a bit of a surprise for us. Guitar Hero 2 for the 360.
Woo, yeah.
I love Guitar Hero 2.
Okay, so we just got this one in from Red Octane. The 360 version has a custom controller model, and it's fully compatible with Xbox Live Marketplace, where you'll be able to download tons of content, including new songs, themes, and picture packs. There are new characters, new venues with song-specific lighting, and there's even a strange phone port here on the side that we haven't quite figured out what the use for is of this thing. But this thing doesn't come out until April 3rd, but when it does, it'll cost $90, but I gotta say, I think it's well worth it.
It is really cool, but I gotta say, it feels smaller than the first one.
And we know, bigger is better.
Bigger is better, especially when you're trying to rock out.
Yeah.
Now, I gotta say, you were going to be super popular around the office until then, right?
Basically, see, the way that it works is I lure them in with my Guitar Hero 2, and then I win them over with my charm and dashing good looks,
No, I have to say it's really how you're gonna get friends out here, because I remember when a lot of people here got Guitar Hero 2s.
Oh yeah.
I was here for some reason at 9, 10 o'clock at night, and people were still playing.
Yeah, it's a great game, but basically we're gonna test drive this thing in greater depth tomorrow on Game Break.
Nice.
Very cool.
Great. Now finally, you've got these wireless Nerf controllers for the PS2.
Yeah, so like our Wii base, these are also from Pelican.
Fun.
They're available in a bunch of colors, and they feature the Smart Play technology, so you can enjoy seamless wireless control at up to 30 feet away. Now, since they are wireless, you're gonna find yourself just feeding them packed with batteries, but the controllers themselves are about 30 bucks.
Okay, now I gotta ask you, besides throwing it when you're pissed off at the game, why would somebody need a Nerf controller?
Well, okay, Liv, gamers are angry people. We lose a game, you wanna throw it, you're like, that's crap.
Okay.
So, basically,
it's to throw it around. And it does feel good to hold it.
It does.
Nice. And it's lighter than...
And your average controller is pretty flimsy, but it's almost like a sponge, so when your hands get all sweaty.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about breaking it.
You sure don't.
Good. Thanks so much, Will. And remember, for even more of the latest news on computers, games, and tech, subscribe to the AOTS Hardware Podcast available anytime at g4tv.com/podcast. Now, not with this thing. Come on now.
No, that's cool.
Oh, kids. The show rolls on here like a wagon on the Oregon Trail, except mine always pulled over and I'd shoot like 100 pounds of squirrel meat and could only carry back 7. It was a tangent. We have more ahead on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
If you haven't been watching Attack of the Show, this is what you're missing. For more info, go to g4tv.com/AOTS.